Hello and welcome to my brand new channel, The Wounded Healer. Today I just wanted to introduce myself a little bit and talk about the Wounded Healer as a concept from my view. I won't be getting into much in the origin from it or that. I can just mention Carl Jung was working on this idea that to be able to treat others with trauma and mental health and so forth, you probably need to have gone through those experiences yourself in order to be able to help others. Not getting into too deep into that. There will probably be a lot more videos for those interested. We'll see what will show up there. I just wanted to start off by maybe just take 3 deep breaths to calm the nervous system down and to increase your presence here and now. Hold it a little bit. Yeah, so immediately you feel calm, relaxed, and you increase your presence here and now by 90% some percent. Yeah. Anyways, so that is it. So yeah, the idea was to talk a little bit about the Wounded Healer from my perspective and just to get you an idea of how that might work or what that's all could be all about. Every journey is different, but so I was gonna talk about why I am here. This could be a new concept for you, might not, but what I reckon is that we choose how we end up here in these lives. So we do this. I'm just getting straight into the fire here, just getting to the point, so to speak. But yeah, I my understanding of how life and death work is that we have many lives, and that Earth is like a school in the universe, and it's kind of a dense dimension to be in. It's rather a tough school, so to say. So for those of us who end up here, it's we are kind of well, not hardcore, but yeah, we're eager to learn from difficult things in order to improve ourselves, one might say. So yeah, so that's and for me, this concept, this many lifetimes, I often I choose my mission, my purpose here is to get into life situations that turns out pretty harsh for me, in order to be able to flip that around and to see, in order to see the good stuff and to be able to heal and like I said, to learn from this earth school, is that if you have some tough experiences, you can you learn from that. Yes, so that is my take on that. So yeah, so let me talk a little bit about how well, for 25 years I've been in a kind of a bad place of on and off, and it comes from a lot of trauma. Like, I believe if you're talking about trauma, we have that on a spectrum from 0 to 100, and everyone has some trauma on this spectrum, and no one has 0. Like you can probably drop a fork on your toe, and you're like, oh, that's a teeny bit of trauma there. and some people like would experience that, like, yeah, this is a tough trauma for me, and the other guy would like brush it off and like, yeah, that's it doesn't affect me really. So we're all different there, yeah, and it depends on how sensitive we are. And talking about sensitivity, it's for me, I perceive that as a good thing, because then it means that you can have a lot of empathy for others. And today's society, unfortunately, we don't appreciate sensitive people, which we should, because they are the key for a better life for us, because they know what we need, because they feel others, feel what we need in order to function well, to live well, to in the extension, to be able to have a paradise on earth. Actually, we could have that. It's just what we choose to have. Yeah, so this this trauma is probably from the childhood, when if you're like a sensitive kid and you haven't had that sensitive grown-ups in your surrounding, or as in my case, I was I lived in a family with a lot of foster kids, who each and every one of them had big needs that was not fulfilled in their childhood. So they were pretty high on the trauma spectrum. So yeah, so as valuable of a lesson as that was for me, because I was of course learning a lot about other people's situations and why people sometimes react like they do when their needs in the childhood is not met. So yeah, as much of a valuable lesson, a school, so to say, like we was talking about earlier, it was also a bit problematic for me to have my needs met, because I could not get the attention that I needed in full. So yeah, and that was I just wanted to say, like, I lost the red thread there, as we say here, but I just wanted to add that I lost it again. Never mind. Moving on. I will get to it. So I learned to walk in another man's or boy or girl's shoes. So walk a mile in another person's shoes, so to say. And also, yes, I was a master of disguise, so to say. I became very good at, as I say, becoming one with the wall, like becoming invisible. Like I felt like I'm so blessed, like I have such a good life, and here is a lot of children with a lot of suffering, and that maybe not suffering, but in a way, high on the trauma scale. And so that's when you tell yourself as a kid, like I am problem free, so I don't have any problem compared to the foster kids, and that is probably not a good thing. Like we should look at both small problems and big problems. Like you shouldn't compare yourself to others, like they always have the bigger problems, but if you don't deal with the problems you have, they tend to get bigger or unresolved, and that just adds to your trauma. So just look at big problems and small problems as well, and work with those. That is what I take with me. So this childhood was probably not the best growing ground for me to be a good functioning adult, and I got pretty low self-esteem and a sense of self-worth, and that unfortunately made me a great tool for others who I was easy to take advantage of, because if you don't have the best sense of self-worth or self-esteem and that, then you tend to get jobs where you get used for greedy people, and you just you don't even reflect on this when you're there. Like you just get used up, kind of, and but essentially what it's all about is that you don't feel that you're worthy to get a real good job, and that yeah, so yeah, yeah, that's it. That's about that. So 3 times I have been kind of exhausted, just totally exhausted, and I've had nightmares. I've had nightmares for years and years and years, and they have been like really, really bad, actually. So I had a dream for a couple of years where this was where there was this long, tall shadow with red eyes, just like in the corner of my bedroom, or even a bit closer. Yeah, it was super scary, and I often woke up like totally sweaty, and yeah, like really afraid. And yeah, I had that for like probably a couple of maybe several years even, and I had these other nightmares, like the last exhaustion that I had, then they became even worse, I would say, like more like demon-like, and my understanding of this is that they are probably even people from other lifetimes that I had have had problems with, and so yeah, it just ended up like I was even talking in my sleep with other voices, and I had this kind of ghost, like it's a ghost coming from your mouth, like a fog or something, and yeah, eventually it got so bad that I felt this incredible energy just holding me down, just pushing me down, and even lifting me up. And at the same time, I remember they were turning off my lights all the time, and so I was a bit afraid of the dark because of all these nightmares, and that I'm not afraid of the dark usually, but so they were turning off the lights all the time, and I got like really mad, and I was like I cannot accept it. I don't remember what I said. Maybe I didn't say I can't accept this, but I was like really firm on I'm not having any of this anymore. And then I felt like I was lifted up from my bed, and this massive energy just hold me tight, and I couldn't move or anything. And then I know that on the peak of all this energy, like it was so forceful, and then there was a blackout, and I know for certain that was for at least 4 houses that just had a total blackout there. Yeah. So yeah, three times trauma. So what I figured out was that I had complex PTSD from everything, and probably one ingredient is that I gave myself it is a bit self-inflicted on the same time that I didn't actually know better. So I was very good at working for greed, for the greedy, and I'm just I just was totally unaware. Like I just rushed. I was just working, and I had no concept of that you need to catch your breath even or that, and I just 3 times I was just closing on the wall, and I didn't see it coming before I just smashed into that wall. So, but there is nothing in society or no one around me, or it's just a lost concept that you have to catch your breath, so to speak, and there is a lot of different ways that you need to. So I was again found myself in a situation where I found myself working more and more late early mornings, and then came home and just shoving some dinner there and going to the office, staying at the office, and that turned into I just have to do some paperwork on the Saturday and on the Sundays, and then you think like, yeah, I just have an hour here, just have an hour of work, and then you sit there 8 hours later wondering where the heck the day went, and the kids and your wife and everything is just I don't know, in some kind of vacuum. You don't even know what the fuck happened there. So yeah, and I got no thanks for that for sure either. Like once I had a construction business, and all that money is gone. Like it's just one thing that when you're in the wheel, in the spinning wheel, it works out. Like you have to probably take loans, like big loans, and everything is working as long as the wheel is spinning, the machine is going around. And then you think like every month you think like, yeah, I'm gonna get some money over here, but there's always some greedy like and I just try to be like super honest about how much an hour is costing, and not adding. Like I see a lot of construction companies, they just they just bill you like too many hours to a lot of like fiction stuff. Like they just add so yeah, but I didn't want to do that. So anyways, enough about that. I have some I have written a few like helping lines here to not get stuck or not to miss too much on this presentation. So yeah, over to how I heal then. That is interesting. So the first time that I had this exhaustion, I found myself. Well, I was at the work. I was at my work, and I was then working with a job in healthcare, with kind of healing, you might say, in a way. I was then working with foster kids, or kids that i- that that is under the roof, so to speak, of treatment and somewhere to live and so on. Like they couldn't live at home for some reason, and like what I have learned now at this age of wisdom is that I cannot impose good health on those who do not want it. They are not receptive, and it's not their time, and so forth. You drain. What happens is so for me anyway, is that I drained of my own health, as opposed to now that I'm just like a channel for good health and for light, or from the universe or whatever, and not just taking from myself and getting emptier and emptier till one day you're like a zombie. And that was essentially what happened, is that I had already started working less on that, like 50% with them kids, and 50% was just like maintenance and working on a construction that needed to be done, or something like that. And this particular day, that I was just getting worse and worse, and my God, I remember there was a lot of conflict in the staff, and the leadership, and all of that. So I stood there. I was doing some plumbing work, or with working with the radiators and putting it together, and it was a simple job. I just had to do threads on this one bar here, connecting the iron rods together, and it was just making those threads on this iron pipe. Really simple job, and I just noticed that this is a job that usually take me 15 minutes, maybe tops, maybe 5, it depends on how much. But I just noticed that I've been standing there for 4 hours, and that concept of time was just gone. Like I couldn't understand what happened. With the time was had just flown by, so super weird. So yeah, was totally crashed. That's where I really noticed, like something is way off here. So I got some eventually. Yeah, I had to quit the job, and whatever happened there, I don't know, but I quit that job, and I was for a sick leave, or also like 100% relieved from work. Yeah. So I got some treatment for that, and I was very happy with my therapist. Like she was awesome, and she really helped me, but also did not fully help me because she didn't have the right tools for. I probably already had this complex PTSD when what is that is a bunch of trauma, bunch of accumulated trauma that when it gets too much it just breaks you down, like the body says no, the body tells you this, yeah, if you don't listen, the body will eventually tell you that this is wrong, like you have to take care of your health and so forth. But the therapist was working with cognitive behavioral therapy, which is ironic because that is what I was working on at this them kids as well, and it's a good. I think it's a good thing, KBT, but it's not very helpful though. Like I can't, like it's if you have a tree and you're just pruning the leaves, like, yeah, it's gonna look really good when we pruned the leaves here, but what actually happens is like the root system is kind of dead, and you have to start there. Like you have to really if you have an onion, you have to really peel off the layers to get to the core of stuff. So so it doesn't really help. It helps for the moment, and this is a psychopathic, I have to say, society that we live in, where we just make quick fixes in order to get people out to work. Like that's essential. That's essentially the most important thing. We burn out people like never before, like crazy, just to get just for the shareholders or for the billionaires to get their quick cash, essentially. What we should do if we treat trauma like with the complexity that it really is, and get to the root of trauma, then we all would make a lot more money, and we would all be healthy, and we would all benefit, like everyone. Which brings me to this other concept of which brings me up to speed today to the third time of burnout. Like I told myself eventually, like after like almost 25 years of being sick on and off all the time, more or less, I told myself I would do anything. Actually, I just wanted to mention that I took pills at the first time also, and I'm very like I am like hesitant to those pills. It is problematic in itself. Like for on one hand, I needed my emotions to. I needed them to stop. Like I couldn't deal with it. I just and that is what those pills did. They kind of lobotomized my brain to be in a constant like zombie mode, and that's I think that might have been what I needed. On the other hand, like what I really needed was to feel my emotion. This is what we are doing wrong in this society all the time in the Western culture. Like if you have emotions, the solution is always, for me it was, and for very many of us, is to shove them down in the basement, which is a freaking horrible way to go about. And we should do the very opposite. We should get to know our feelings. Yeah, we should get to know our feelings. Yeah, so that is truly messed up, and no one, not even the therapist, talked to me about feeling feelings. It's not a super hard concept to wrap your head around. Like if you need to feel your feelings, you can just, when a feeling pops up in your head and you're like, take anger for example. I had a lot of anger in me, and what I eventually learned 25 freaking years later, amazing how it could take that long time for me to understand, like this society is truly lost. Anyways, you take when that pops up and you're like preparing to be outraged, or not preparing, but it just, then you can immediately go 5 minutes, sit down in your favorite soft chair or whatever, and just think about that feeling. And you can do that for any feeling. If you're sad or anxiety or whatever, just think about that feeling for 5 minutes. Whatever comes up, like why am I, why do I get this feeling, why do I get so mad from apparently like nowhere, it just pops up, and why is that? And if you do that, you get to know your emotion instead of just acting out on that anger and suppressing it down the basement. Yeah, so that's a good practical tip for you. So yeah, eventually after all these years, I was like fed up with, I was getting sick every other weekend. I know there was like a clock, and there was a body like telling me to slow down, like you have to catch your breath. So every other weekend I was sick. Yeah, it was like I had 10 tons weight on my chest, and just like and I just I couldn't do anything, like, and that was my life for many years. And so yeah, that's my dog. Anyways, so this, the sickness, yeah, the every other weekend, and then that turned out like starting earlier on Friday and into the Monday, and that got longer and longer until I crash. That's but it's all energy. Yeah, everything is just, you have this much energy, so when you work too much, work, the other, catch your breath, will have to compensate by itself there. It's just this amount of energy, so it's all energy. Yeah, so anyways, that was so the process of how I healed. The first step for me was like, I recognized that this isn't working. I have to do something proper from the roots. And then I was like, I thought, I'm gonna do whatever the heck it takes to get healthy. Yeah, whatever, I'm prepared to. I'll do anything. I'll try anything. And that was, I think, the turning point when it started to turn for me towards better health, because that's when your mind goes like, that's when you open up to healing, and you see you're not stuck in this Western construct of greed and materialism is a freaking answer to every single question, that you should work yourself to death, or you should pump out a little extra just to get that extra dollars. Yeah, you can't take things to the grave, you know. That's how it is. And yeah, I was seeking out some untraditional help. Like I tried the health system, and they give you pills, and they give you help that is not actually helping. Just like putting a small band-aid on a big flesh grenade wound. It might stop the bleeding for a few seconds. So yeah, I went to a shaman actually, and I got some amazing information there, like that I didn't get from other sources. And also I got reminded of that I am kind of fantastic. Like no one tells you that. It's it's amazing. And also I was looking into when you start open up your mind to how can I heal, and you start listening to your heart, like what is a healing for me, what do I need, not what we always, also in Western culture, we always like someone else is gonna fix me, the healthcare system, it's always everything is happening outside of us. No, you have to work, only you can fix yourself, like you know what you have to work on, your intuition. Yeah, so that was what I did, and that led me to magic mushrooms actually. So I did I tend to get a bit like obsessed when I find something, I want to learn more about it, and so I studied up like crazy. Like I was reading all these articles and all of the science, and just study, learning everything, so that I could make a decision that yeah. But I knew already from the start, when I was starting to thinking about this, like this is what is gonna heal me. This is my last chance to get healed. I just knew that. And the other stuff was just to make sure, like double checking, like, is it really though? Yes. So I can probably say this might even save my life, because what it does is that it's I call it God's medicine, and a lot of shamans and the likes do, like the tribes, etc. And it truly is like, it truly open up your brains. Like, we are stuck in old programs. Like, it's like, the older we get, it's like a highway, and we need to make detours. Like, sometimes a highway goes to the wrong place where we're not meant to be. The old programming is stuck in one mode, and it's a wrong one. So what it does, it opens up like the whole of the brain, like every little connection. It kind of makes you like a child again, where you can take in new information. And also what it does is that it finds what is it helps you find the wrongs, or how to say, I can't find the proper word for it, but it just it helps you get unstuck, and it helps you see the wonderful things that is life. Actually, life, a total other appreciation for life. How amazing life is. Totally amazing. And it can be an amazing experience, like truly wonderful. It may also be kind of horrible, actually, and it is all of the different sides that you need to see and need to process and need to work on. This is what it's like the best therapist ever, that where you get to see the light side, but also the shadow sides. This is also called Jung, like talking about the shadow sides that we need to be friends with, and not just shove them in the basement also. Yeah, so this was truly interesting, where I got to I actually met God in one of those sessions that I had. I did this on my own. I wouldn't recommend it. I'm just, but also it saved me. So I have better health than I have ever had in for 25 years probably. Anyway, so in one of those sessions, or also to speak, I got to meet God. Well, in two of them, but I wanted to just share with you that I got to go to the afterlife, what we probably define as death. It wasn't a near-death experience, so to say, but I was welcomed in by the source, by universe, by God. He prefers to be called God. I don't know why, but yeah. And funny thing, he was talking Norwegian as well, because as he said, it sounds funnier. Yeah. So, and just it's so hard to explain, and I'm not gonna. I can probably do that in another video, but I can just affirm that there is. It's all about love. Actually, it's so I get warm in my whole body just thinking about it. Like I got war in this experience, and I just felt the unconditional love. The unconditional love. It was you cannot with human language. It's impossible to explain the amount of love that is source, and the peace. Just amazing. So I wanted to, just the closest thing, like I said, it's impossible, but the closest thing I can come to try and explain this is like, imagine your first kiss, like, and it's everything is in place, like it's a girl that you're really into, or the boy if you're, or whatever. Everything is on spot. You're really into this girl, and you just and it's your very first kiss. It's your first experience of this, and then like that is probably one of your best memories in this life. It's that good, is what I'm trying to say. And then you take that times 1,000. That is what source is. So just think about that for a moment. That is what it is all about, and what I get from this, what I take with me from that experience, it's that we are actually, everyone is source. Like you have source here, and source is a bit of you and me and everyone on earth. We are all connected. We are all consciousness. So what we're doing to each other here in some ways is freaking horrible. Like the war and the stuff is just horribly wrong. Because imagine what you're doing. Like, we are all one, we are all connected, we are all consciousness. So when you're killing, when you make war and you're killing each other, it's like you're cutting off your finger or your foot. That is weird. We just need to stop that, like right away. Yeah. So, I'm gonna round this up. It's been way too long, I can tell by the clock here. It's hard for the TikTokers. They haven't come this far. It's everything over 5 seconds is beyond their comprehension. So do some grounding meditation. That is always good. That is also what helped me from recovering. And the last thing I wanted to talk about a little bit fast is past lives. That has also helped me heal, because I had a lot of trauma from these other lives that I had no idea. And just when I started figuring out how I could learn about past lives, that's when a lot of pieces fell together. Like, why am I acting this way? Why am I anxious about this? I don't understand. Like, So yeah, and it is kind of interesting. Yeah, it really is. And like I said, I see in every lifetime there is trauma for me. So I think every person has it different depending on what your purpose is here on earth, what you're here to experience, and that. Okay, yeah. So way too long video, but a first introduction, and I will follow up by different topics. It could be, excuse me, it could be about yeah, about healing for sure, about shamanism, about everything that I talked about, like past life, like mushrooms, like something I'm into a lot now is how to eat well. That's a very important part. And yeah, and it could also be about journeying, which is a part of shamanism, and a part of the shamanism is a big part, of course, and everyone is doing different things. And but the journey there, I sometimes when I do that, I meet with like masters like Buddha, or I meet with Jesus, and they teach me things, and I can in my way teach those things. So yeah, so okay, good folks, take care, bye bye.